He has accepted Congressional District 7, so he will be heading to Washington. Seems harmless. My eyes can be on the road and my hands on the wheel. Good news for drivers in Tucson. The City Council approved reductions in parking fines. 30 reported verbal or physical abuse by an employer in the last year, and 6 said they felt sexually harassed. Dark money was a big issue this election, and the Latino vote is something many candidates are still fighting for. Students at ASU are working to bring awareness to the issue. Reporter Jamie Warren visited the Tempe campus to find out more about the Cardboard City. As you hear in the back, people are clapping, they're energized, they're still optimistic about this year's election. Naomi McClendon fell to her death from the 10th floor of this apartment complex. Now, 6 months later, 2 men have been charged for hosting the party where the 18-year-old was drinking. Finding those believed responsible is the job of the Department of Liquor's Investigations Unit.
We work with the local law enforcement agency who took the accident or the crash, and we're going to parallel our investigation with them and work backwards to where that underage person obtained that alcohol.
The program is called TRACE, and whether it's a store, friend, or family member, a TRACE case isn't finished until the supplier is charged.
We'll hold those people administratively or criminally responsible if they did provide to that underage, which in turn may have caused that serious incident.
To crack down on underage drinking, lawmakers passed SB 1397. Now, a vertical license can't be used to purchase alcohol 30 days after a person turns 21.
That was the most used type of credential or type of ID for underage accessing liquor. And the liquor industry and the Department of Liquor officers wanted to stop it.
Miss, your ID, please.
The underage person chose to drink, but finding the supplier and making them responsible is the department's way of helping combat the problem.
If you can let people know that you have the techniques to trace it back to the source, you are going to really deter people from providing liquor or selling liquor to an underage.
For Sergeant Cool, this is his way of helping those affected.
It's hard on us, it's hard on the family, it's hard on everybody. And so we try to do a good job of complete a thorough investigation and find out what happened and to bring some sort of closure.
In Phoenix, Yahaira Jacquez, Cronkite News.
In today's Access Across Arizona Spotlight, Cronkite News continues a mission to uncover new stories from all corners of our state. Rural hospitals and medical centers are struggling to provide health care. One factor, fewer doctors are choosing to practice in the more remote areas of our state. Yahaira Jacquez traveled to several areas of Navajo County, taking a look at healthcare access. She joins us live from Show Low. Yahaira?
Navajo County has a population of about 107,000. The latest data says there is about 125 doctors to serve the entire county. I went to one medical center where you can feel the shortage, and doctors say they see patients all day.
Bam, I mean, there's people needing, and I've had to limit my new patients. It's been hard saying, no, I can only see so many new a day when there's people still calling all the time to get in.
Daryl Brimhall is a family doctor at Summit Healthcare Medical Center in Snowflake. Like many other rural doctors, he feels the shortage of doctors to patients and sees it as well.
I have patients that even making that trip to Show Low, it's 20 miles plus away to see a specialist is really a sacrifice.
About 19% of the U.S. population lives in rural areas. But according to the Rural Health Research Center, rural doctors make up only 11% of the physician workforce. To combat the issue, Arizona lawmakers established the Rural Health Professions Program.
We want them to see what it's like to work in a rural setting where they are it. No matter what the problem is, that they will be able to approach it.
And students get a more hands-on experience.
They are given opportunities by the rural doctors to really integrate into the community, integrate into the medical practice.
Since 2000, 48 students have returned to rural practice after finishing the program at the U of A, and Dr. Brimhall is one of them.
That's a success story for Arizona when we have students from the community returning to practice medicine.
So, Doctor, can you walk me through what it was like to be a mentor to Dr. Brimhall?
It was fun and exciting to be a part of his training as he went through the process to be able to come home as a physician and help serve our community.
And what would you say are the benefits to the Rural Health Professions Program?
Having that financial help as a doctor is going through their training helps them know that they can afford to be able to come back to a rural or underserved community. It helped me be able to return here myself years ago. So it really benefits people by removing that financial challenge or a portion of it as they're looking at paying off their school loans.
And how is this program helping the shortage?
There are physicians who would not be able to make the choice to come back to an underserved community without having that financial benefit. So it really makes a big difference.
As you can see, this is a real problem here in Navajo County and in the surrounding rural areas. Thank you, Doctor. Reporting live from Show Low, Yahaira Jacquez, Cronkite News. Dana Murdoch is mixing up a drink, something she does to give clients a taste of the spirits they can buy at her Prescott distillery.
We are able to sell products that we make, which are our alcohols and our bitters.
Senate Bill 1397 gave Arizona distilleries their own license, something that didn't exist before.
And it allows the holder of that license to produce craft distilled spirits, to distribute them to retail licensees, and to sell to patrons on the licensed premises.
The new distillery license now puts a limit on how much craft liquor they can produce. But for Thumb Butte, the cap of 20,000 gallons a year isn't a problem.
Once you get in the trenches, what seems like not very much seems like a lot more.
But for Arizona Distilling Company in Tempe, which makes Copper City bourbon, the new license didn't work. They want to eventually grow, so they would produce more than the 20,000 gallon cap.
We didn't want to give up our in-state producers, go to the micro distillery license, hit that cap, and then have to change our business model entirely.
This isn't a surprise for Lee Hill.
I think that the larger producers are probably going to sit back and look and see what the small batch producers are doing with the license.
They may want to look at Thumb Butte. Their retail sales have jumped since they started selling directly to consumers.
We have doubled since June. There you go.
In Prescott, Yahaira Jacquez, Cronkite News.
Does this mean that you're not going to pay me or what? And she said, oh, no, I'm going to pay you. I'm going to let you go for 2 weeks, just rest 2 weeks, and then you'll get your money.
That money never came until Adelina Lopez decided to take action.
Then that's when I went to the law clinic at the U of A. And that's where they educated me about the minimum wage.
Adelina's employer paid her for the month of work and an extra 35 cents to meet the minimum wage for every hour.
That was more than $900 that she owed me, so it came up to $1,200.
What we have found is that many of our clients who are all immigrant workers have a great deal of problems that are very similar.
Working with these women, researcher Shayna Kessler says they're unaware and afraid.
There's a great deal of fear about communicating about conditions on the job among immigrant women in general, and particularly among undocumented women.
But the results of them speaking out were startling. Hotel workers said they were given only 15 minutes to clean an entire room, and tortilla factory workers were required to complete 18 trays an hour. That's 1,134 tortillas. The report addressed the problems, but it also provided solutions.
Ensuring that the protection and the coverage of the laws affects a broader range of workplaces. Employers and employees would benefit the workforce as a whole.
For Adelina, she hopes the community listens and her fellow workers speak up.